Welcome to Bad Advice, the podcast where we explore the worst advice startup founders have heard or even worse followed. I'm Jekabs Endziņš from Bad Ideas Fund. The podcast is brought to you thanks to the Investment and Development Agency of Latvia, as well as the Investment and Tourism Agency of Riga. Today's guest is Jekabs Endziņš, but more on him after the very short intro. Jekabs is a serial founder whose career spans data tech, fintech, SaaS, and hardware. He has built and scaled companies like TweetDeleter, Tabbox, Eleven Group, Finitera, and now Roybox. Jesus Christ. His companies have reached millions of users across more than 10 countries, serving millions of customers. Today, he's running VB.VC, a startup studio helping founders ship fast and learn even faster. Wow, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So first things first, looking at this photo of yours, did you know back then that you're going to be an overachiever, a Swiss Army knife, and someone who's going to get bored of things so quickly that you will have to build gazillions of companies like that?
Let me think about it. What was the time?
2008?
I think I knew, yeah. Actually, I built my first business at the age of 16. And then the next four...
What was it?
It was a very simple business. It was back in high school. I organized skiing trips, or more like snowboarding trips. But then the next four attempts were fails. But yeah, I think I always knew that I wanted to build something and be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. With the snowboarding like trips, how many people would join on a trip like that?
At the beginning of the season, I would have the big bus, and it would be something like 30, 40 people. Mm-hmm. And then towards the end of the season, we switched to smaller buses, more like 20. But I had a deal with the skiing resort Jekabs. They gave us a big discount. But I had to bring, I think, at least 20 people. That was the deal from their side. I get a discount if I bring at least 20 people. So that was the task.
And you were 16?
Yeah. I studied in the 10th grade.
Jealous. Anyways, who are the other two gentlemen right there?
They're Edgars and Mārtiņš, two of my very best friends. I know them for most of my life. We met in the 7th grade.
And you're still besties?
We are still besties, still to date.
Well,
like last weekend, we were in Paris. It sounds like a romantic trip for guys, but actually went to one concert and Paris Saint-Germain football game.
Mm-hmm. Well, shout out to Edgars and Mārtiņš. Have they also been part of any of your business ventures?
Edgars has been helping me a lot with some of the legal matters because he's a lawyer. Mārtiņš advising me from time to time, but not like very directly involved.
Fast forward from here to 2025, you have co-founded a lot of companies, as we already discussed. What's maybe sort of the common thread in how you choose what to build?
I think an honest answer is that nothing really connects them. It's like lucky coincidences, and one thing leads to another. But let me start with the first venture, which is Eleving. So I was 24 years old, freshly graduated from SSC Riga. I had a study loan. As I told you, I had already failed 3 or 4 businesses.
Except the snowboarding
Except the snowboarding, which was a very, very successful one. And I was working back then for a software development company. And when you get an offer to become CEO with a stock option to lead the fintech business, I guess you say yes. And from then on, one thing is leading to another. Definitely one thing that connects all of the ventures is a team. I'm a team player. I've never had any solo project. I don't think I ever will. I build something when I believe that this is the team, the best team for that particular problem.
And you're saying it's really important to have those partners, those business partners. For instance, if I'm someone who's also an Army Swiss knife, for instance, and I want to build something myself, would you advise not to build it by myself? Do I need those partners? And if so, why?
I think it all depends on yourself. I think each of us have to understand our own strengths, weaknesses, and what we like to do and what we don't like to do. I, for example, know that I get I sometimes get lost, I get bored if I do something alone. I need people around me, I need to discuss stuff, I need to brainstorm. I think for certain people, working solo is exactly the best approach. So it depends on you, and there are many solopreneurs, and I don't think that building something alone is essentially bad, but you just need to understand yourself, whichever is best for you.
Would you fund someone who's a solopreneur?
Yeah, why not? Because again, if it works for them, why wouldn't I? Because as an investor, in the end, you're looking for the future profits, the future valuation. If they can achieve it alone, why not?
So you mentioned the first venture, Eleving Group, but the longest running one, still operating, is TweetDeleter, right?
Yes, TweetDeleter is a venture that I have this like love and hate relationships, and most probably we should divide TweetDeleter into 3 eras. Since it's
Taylor Swift could never.
So starting in 2011 hackathon, we built TweetDeleter, and 3 months after the hackathon, I was checking the Google Analytics, like user data, and I was happy to see that the initial plan has worked. Google has indexed our website. We receive around 300 unique visits per day. They're not bouncing. They're clicking on the sign up button. The product was not functional. We basically had a landing page and sign up button.
Scam.
Yes, yes. I think TweetDeleter is fake it till you make it type of thing. So I noticed that there is a potential. However, my team was not kind of ready to actually make it work, make it functional, because all of them were working for something else, including myself. And then I think it was 1 or 2 years later, we had a small software development company with Reinis, and we wanted to build our own products, not only serve customers. So I told him about TweetDeleter, and we decided to rebuild it and actually make it work, and we did. However, the business model was very stupid. We thought that we will make money by showing ads. So at the end of the month, we could not even cover the server costs. So back to drawing board, then Reinis came up with a business model. He described the world's most stupid business model. He said, we will charge a monthly subscription. And he said, yes, I know. You don't need to pay for it every month because you just use it once. And he said, we will add some features to mimic that you should be using it on a monthly basis, like automatic deletion, saving deleted tweets and stuff like that. And that's what we did. And it worked. After some time, we were seeing gradual increase of monthly recurring revenues. And we were in a position when I thought this could actually be a real business. And then we entered the second or third phase when something happens. We receive an email from our payment provider that your account is frozen and you have to move to different payment provider. The problem is that since it's a subscription service, it means that we lose all the subscriptions.
Everyone has to transfer.
Yes, or we need to send them emails, please pay again, or leave your card details in a kind of in our website again.
Yeah.
And of course, all the resources and time to implement it. And the reason was that the correspondent bank said that they believe that people should not be paying for a service like deleting tweets. They don't understand why it exists. Therefore, the payment provider is also terminating the agreement, which to us sounded very strange. We had this email conversation with them back and forth, trying to prove that we are a real business, but nothing worked. And then Las Vegas story. I was in Las Vegas for a conference.
I'm seated.
for my fintech activities, and I'm super tired because of the jet lag and moving from one conference room to another and all the meetings. And I notice a badge standing next to me in elevator from that particular company that froze our accounts and wants to stop the cooperation. So I asked him, do you have a minute? We need to talk.
We need to fight.
No, we need to talk. So I explained the situation. The guy said, sounds very strange. We shouldn't be like freezing your account, but look, I'm from sales, but I'll see what I can do. By the time I landed in Riga, after a couple of days, we were back up and running, and we are still to date cooperating with that company, and everything's good.
Congratulations! So it's all about networking.
No, more like lucky coincidences, I would say. But yeah.
And you just saw on the badge the name, the company, and you're like, "This is my moment." Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And then just to finishing this big story about TweetDeleter, now we are we are at the Elon Musk phase.
Yeah. Did you need to rename the company to TweetDeleter?
We actually have bought additional domains, but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem with Elon Musk is that he is introducing a paid API. We are being forced to pay for API. Some of the functionality is being removed, and we are again in a situation, if you would ask me, will TweetDeleter exist after 1 year? I don't know. But we are trying to figure it all out and kind of keep it running. So that's my very, very long story about TweetDeleter.
Has Twitter/X ever approached you to acquire TweetDeleter? Because that feels like such a common sense feature to have.
No, they have never, and I think there is a reason for that, because tweets, their main product as Twitter or X is content. So if they would help users to get rid of the content more easy.
They can't sell it to LLMs.
Yes, but we have been approached to sell our business. We actually had signed the term sheet already. The deal did not go through for some strange reasons, not from our side, but but not the X.
Along the way, not only looking at TweetDeleter, but also all the other ventures, what has maybe stood out as a bad advice, not necessarily from external sources, but something you internally believe that you followed, and at some point you hit like a wall following that particular advice, realizing that, oh shit, this wasn't maybe the greatest and brightest idea to think at the time?
I cannot tell one thing that was essentially bad, but I can tell you one thing that I believed myself is complete bullshit, and then it changed the other way around.
From being bullshit to being...
Yes, but this is not something that others told me. This is what I believed myself.
Okay.
Back in university times, they're teaching mission, vision, values, and about company culture. And at that time, I really thought that this is just bullshit they teach in business schools that cannot work in real business. And that's what I believed for some time during my early career of doing business and being a CEO of companies. Only after some time, and when I get access to a book, What You Do Is Who You Are, by Ben Horowitz, all the dots connected, like my beliefs about the company culture, what I tried myself and kind of what didn't work, what was written in the book, what I had already imagined myself, what would be a nicer way how to do things, and then it all clicked. And from then on, I cannot imagine building a business, building a team without first thinking about who I am, who are the other co-founders or the core team members, what we like to do, what we don't like to do, what kind of behavior we want to see from our team when we are not present, and build the rest upon these foundations. And this is something that have 180 degrees changed for me, which, you know, if you would ask me this in 2012, what is mission, vision, value, values culture. Why do you need it? I would say it's complete bullshit. I don't want to talk about it.
What practically did that entail? That like switch that you need to think about mission, vision within the team?
We started thinking about how we like to interact with each other and what kind of behavior we support and what we definitely don't, and usually talked it through with our co-founders and made sure that every co-founder and the first group of people that starts the venture actually chooses appropriate team members so that they are also able to follow the same rules, and when they are hiring their teams also. So I think company culture and mission vision starts with those founders, and if they are on the same page, then the next people will naturally also be, and then it's a lot easier to kind of keep it in a great shape.
And what are these culture elements that you want to emphasize and that you are emphasizing from that point on that everyone in the team should be aware of?
I think number one is not blaming for making mistakes. I think many managers make the mistake by actually blaming someone, and that sometimes leads to a situation when people are actually afraid to make mistakes, are afraid to tell the boss that something is suspicious there, and you find out about these things only later. Mistakes is actually like very big concept around the company culture in general, because if you are afraid to make mistakes, you are also afraid to risk, and in certain businesses it is very important to make some brave decisions. Things like being humble, things like taking the initiative. If you see that something is wrong, even that, I don't know, there is some rubbish in the kitchen on the ground, that this is everyone's responsibility to fix it, not the cleaning lady. Or if something is not working, that this is one department's fault. No, this is our, as a group of people, responsibility to make it work better.
So now, after more than 10 years of building yourself, and as someone who has built, scaled, invested, started helping other startups, you probably have a solid pattern recognition within what other people are doing. And what's maybe type of advice you see other founders follow way too blindly and way too religiously?
I don't see one general pattern for already experienced ones, because each business is different. Mm-hmm. But I mentor a lot of young founders at Start School, for example, and I keep on repeating myself over and over again. I think I know I need to get a tattoo on my forehead, which is distribution first mindset. And this is especially important right now in the modern days, thanks to AI, where building a prototype, developing something is very, very easy. However, distribution, sales, marketing becomes more and more important, because 15 years ago when I started, if I build a beautiful product, people will, or the chances that they will notice it are a lot bigger, just because it's beautiful, because it's unique. Right now, the world is full of beautiful and unique products that no one knows about. And young startup founders should not think about, I will build something for the sake of building, but how do I get noticed? And a lot of these mentoring sessions starts or goes like this. I have this idea, I will build it like this, here is a prototype, and the prototype is nice, or the presentation is nice, and everything is cool. And then it's like, okay, but how do the customers get to know about you? And they're like, yes, that was the question I wanted to ask you. I was like, okay, how many hours did you spend making this product? I don't know, 10, 2 weeks, whatever, 1 hour. How many hours did you think about, advertising? 0. Because, okay, you can have some savings. You can go on Facebook or Google Ads and press like the boost button, launch a campaign. But you will obviously burn a lot of funds if you don't have some interesting strategy how you will be spot on target exactly your target customer. Will it be SEO? Will it be some kind of, viral thing? Will it be affiliates? Will it be influencers? Will you create a viral TikTok video and how to do that? So you have to think about it.
I want to do one final lightning round of startup funding clichés, tropes, and just generally quickly I'll read them out loud, and you have to respond. Oh, this makes sense. No, this does not make sense, and why?
Okay.
Launching fast matters more than researching for months.
For sure.
So you launch you launched a scam.
Fake it till you make it. But I know there have been many times when I've been, researching a subject, doing customer interviews, thinking about it. I can tell you honestly, at the Eleving, we had 2 products that we started with, and we wanted to drop one of them because we thought it just does not make sense. And also the feedback was not great. Once we launched it, it actually exploded or worked a lot better than the other product. And if we wouldn't launch it and test with the real product in real market, probably the company would be completely different right now.
Number 2, you should build multiple projects over your career.
In my case, for sure. I'm just impatient to stick on one thing for a longer period.
Except TweetDeleter, of course.
Yes, but I admire those who are able to work on one thing for their lifetime.
If you are good at your craft, if you're good at what you do, if you know your shit, the risk of starting a company is smaller than you think.
Yes.
Straightforward.
Yes. And here I would like to tell something about software developers who are afraid to start a startup or join a startup. If you fail the startup that you are joining or your own startup, you will find a new job in, half an hour. The recruiters are all over your LinkedIn account anyway, so why are you afraid to try it? This is something I don't understand, because I have had these conversations myself with those guys, and I have heard it from many founders, and it just does not make sense to me. And I wanted to say it out loud.
What's the best trait or quality to have for a founder?
It's a big question.
Asking for a friend.
I like to look at the co-founder or co-founding team as a team. And in a team, each player have a different, role or task. It's like in a sports team. You have a goalie, you have a defender, you have someone who will score those goals. And every team also had to have all these roles. So it really depends for particular situation and startup.
Fair, but giving a sports analogy to me, it did not click.
Sorry.
Thank you, Jekabs. Anything else you want to highlight or shout out more people?
No, that's it.
Okay, viewers, thank you so much for sticking around. I really enjoyed this discussion. That's Jekabs Endzins. Thank you again for watching, and see you around.
Thank you for having me. Bye.